If you're seeing this, then this is your Tarot Tuesday message. Welcome. We're back again for another Tarot Tuesday. This Tarot Tuesday is going to be for the week of June 24th through the 30th, 2025. So welcome. If it is that point in the space-time continuum, when you're finding this, then that's the energy that we're working with, everything that's happening this week. If you're finding this and it is not at that point on the whatever calendar, then that's great too, because for whatever reason you're tapped into these energies that are here presenting themselves right now. So there are likely messages here for you. My name is Lara, so welcome. We're going to see what this week brings us. We do have a lot of big energy. That is the theme of 2025. Every week is just like crazy energies and things happening all at the same time in unprecedented ways. At what point does unprecedented just become precedented? I don't know. I feel like there's so much unprecedentedness in this existence that, what is a precedented time? I don't know. Couldn't tell ya. But we're here and we showed up again and we're breathing. So might as well see what we can make out of it. It's really crazy right now. We just had our solstice on the 20th. So we're officially in Cancer season. The solstice also is the longest day of the year. So we had the most here in the north. I'm in the northern hemisphere. I don't know where you are. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it was your shortest day of the year, longest night. But it is a portal, and we had the fiery portal of the summer solstice. So, she's a little too close. Which ushered us into Cancer season. And right out of the gate, tomorrow, on the 25th, we will also have our new moon in Cancer. Cancer is the crab. Moving from Gemini into Cancer season. Cancer is all about the feels. And I think there's something interesting too as far as the crab and the shell. I think what this week is going to highlight is like a lot of ways that we've outgrown maybe certain structures or things in our life, but heavy on the emotional aspect of this. The moon and sun in Cancer. The moon is at home in Cancer. So I would say be prepared to feel the feels if you haven't already. I know I already have. Like right away, it wasn't even, when was it? I think it was literally the day of the solstice, last Friday. And my favorite place to cry is on the subway here in New York City. And usually nobody notices or makes a big deal out of it, which is why it's one of my favorite places, because you can just kind of let it go into that transient space. I know I'm not the only one, but I was, wherever I was, oh God, I remember I was thinking about the world, the state of the world and the state of the environment that I'm currently in. And feeling my feelings and feeling them so hard that not one, but two other women noticed enough. One woman was like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have, she was next to me. She was like, I'm so sorry, I don't have a tissue. And I was like, oh, it's okay. That's when I knew it must have been bad, because it's only women, and they're the only ones that seem to notice, and all they want to do is offer you a tissue. And I think that there's something really special and beautiful about that. That nobody's like, are you okay? They're just like, get this girl a tissue. And then another, like immediately after that, a woman who was getting off the train just handed me a tissue as she left. This is what I love about this city that I live in. Because I don't really want to talk about it. I just want to get it out. So that's Cancer season. And maybe you don't want to talk about it, but you want to get it out. And it's important to get it out because under this moon, I think our emotions will be higher than normal. There's a lot of other things happening as well. There's conjunctions with the sun and the moon between Neptune, which is in Aries, and then also Saturn, which is in Aries, and then also Mars, which is in Virgo. So all of these energies too are, the moon is asking us to really feel our feelings and know that these feelings are not what define us, but we need to feel it, see it, acknowledge it so that we can let it go. Some feelings want to linger and we're tempted to attach our identities onto the way that we feel, but that is not who we are. So this new moon, also Cancer, we're in the month of June, which is the number 6 energy, and 6 is all about home and the stability there. And, the crab has that protective shell. I could also think of a hermit crab, right? That once it outgrows its home, it's got to go find another one. So I think that is a lot of that is going to come into play with Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Aries is like a very pioneering energy, and to have these two, Saturn and Neptune, are sort of very different energy. Saturn is asking us to be very grounded in reality. It's about structure and rules and things of that nature. Where is there no longer room for us to be our authentic selves? Saturn and Aries. And then Saturn and Neptune is all about dreams, the subconscious. And so I think there's an interesting element of bringing dreams into reality that is then put into place, or no, that's not what I mean. That is given sort of a detailed strategy with Mars in Virgo, because Mars is the energy, is the planet of action. Excuse me. And Virgo is extremely detail oriented. So if you didn't have the plan before, you better make it now. And I think for me, what's coming up personally is that I'm always back and forth on the plan. And I think it's time to get really clear on the plan, and also like balancing that sort of like out of the box, like how big do you want to actually go? What's the emotional release around the expansion? Because Jupiter is in Cancer too. That's the other thing. Jupiter is in Cancer, and Jupiter really likes Cancer as well. So yeah, so even more emotional aspects are expanded. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. That's kind of what I keyed into as far as when I was doing a little bit of research. So that's what we've got going on this week. And right at the top of the week. So yeah, why don't we go ahead and just dive into our Tarot Tuesday? We've got the usual cast of characters, so we'll take our Oracle of Mystical Moments and let's go ahead and see if we can catch, could we please? Wow, hang on. Before I even ask the question, okay, here we go. And we have number 38. This is Lullaby. sleep, dreams. I think rest, self-care is always really important during Cancer season when you're letting yourself feel and process your feelings. I think that's what the important part here is. Processing those feelings, not stifling them. But we have lullaby. Look at this beautiful image. So I also love the cello. I think it's so sad sounding and beautiful in its sort of the emotions that a cello has been able to evoke out of me. Has been really transformative. But you see the cello itself, there's the water here. There is no water that this person is sitting around, interestingly enough, but you've got this waterscape here with the night sky. You see the crescent moon, and then the stars as well. They're sort of falling into or coming out of the cello. Maybe that's like the music. Let's see what our book says. 38, lullaby. As dusk arrives, we notice a cello player about to play a lullaby. Lullaby is also sleep, dreams, rest. Oh, don't be surprised if your intuition is heightened at this time with the moon in Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer. It's like in Cancer is also, as emotional as it is incredibly intuitive. So also I think, I don't know if you're somebody who gets messaging from music, I think there's things to pay attention to with music coming up. Okay. Lullaby, restoration, dreams, rhythms, lullaby. As dusk arrives, we notice a cello player about to play a lullaby to welcome the sleep we need so dearly. The cycles of day and night, light and dark, orchestrate our natural sleep rhythms. We give so much during the day, night is our time to recover. On his instrument, we can see the moon and stars. They are the guardians of our dreams tonight. Rest with nature's lullaby, blowing gently through the window. Tomorrow, wake to all the days of your life. Okay. So maybe get some sleep. Or pay attention to your dreams. Okay. So there we go. I think a sleepy week. We're going to see. With this heat where I am. Yeah, it's so hot. Okay, and the heat a lot of times makes me need to go to sleep. Anyway, let's see if we, thank you so much for this. Such a beautiful card. Can we also get 3 of our spicy oracle here? Okay. Okay, so we'll see about that. You're so my type. And always the plan. So literally in fire hot Diablo order. Okay. In temperature order. I think we'll see about that. There may have been things that have come up to be questioned. I think you're really questioning if you want what you think you want right now. And as far as what the answer there is, I mean, I think there's rest is needed to really find this for yourself, to come back to this sort of like home space. Maybe there's other emotions or vibrations that have you second guessing and questioning whether or not this is the path for you. But with we'll see about that. And then you're so my type, always the plan. I think that as we're moving through the week, we are seeing that, yes, this is the way that I want to be going. This has always been the plan. You're so my type makes me think of like for you yourself, you are your own type. This person, individual being that you are stepping into, this is who you want to be. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of things that have made you question that. Okay. Let's see if I'm on to anything here. Why don't we go ahead and get a few tarot cards here. Okay, let's see. Could we have 3 cards to show us what we will be walking through under this energy over the next 7 days? What are we looking at? Do you want to see me shuffle? Do you like seeing me shuffle the cards? Just, this is why I don't do that. But there's 2. And that's the 3rd one. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay, here we go. We're going to start at the bottom of the deck with the shadow cards here. The shadow cards representing our subconscious. So just underneath the surface for us. And this is what's driving every aspect of our lives right now at this particular moment. We have the 9 of Swords. So there's a lot of anxiety around all of this. I think there has been for quite a while. It's something that keeps you up at night. And it really is this new beginning. There is a lack of trust here. When you're anxious, that means the opposite of anxiety is trust. Because when you're worried, it's sort of a reverse like control thing. You're worried about outcomes that may or may not happen. Instead of just surrendering to the process and fully trusting and that you are supported by the universe. Yikes. Okay, come for me. But instead, you are consumed by this anxiety. But there is a new beginning here. You are being asked to let go and trust fall. Knowing, leap and the net will appear. In this case, the net is already here. You're just not seeing it. So, and in this new beginning, there's the opportunity. You have to let the burdens go, whether this is disappointments that you've picked up along the way. This new beginning is what helps you let go of the past. All those things that were dragging you down before. This is where you do that, but you haven't been able to because of the anxiety that you have. And I know. And the anxiety is because you're worried it's not going to work out your way. But the wheel of life is constantly turning and you never know. I know this for sure, but I think inherently there's still something coded in me that does not act out of the fear that it's not going to be quote unquote successful or, it's not going to seemingly turn out in my favor. But the reality is, even if things don't seem like they're turning out in my favor, it's because something else is coming up. The wheel keeps turning. There's a story of a farmer that, it's like a long story, but the farmer had a son, and the son like broke his foot, and everybody in the village was like, oh, that's so terrible. And the farmer was like, we'll see. And then the next day, the army comes to take all of the young men to draft them to a war, and everybody in the village, and so obviously this kid doesn't get drafted because he's got a broken foot and he can't. And so the whole village to the farmer is like, oh, that's so great. And the farmer's like, we'll see. And the story continues. And the whole point is that even if something bad is happening, you don't know what's going to happen later, right? Being in a space of seemingly disappointment is actually positioning you for the next turn of the wheel. And we'll see, right? Because it's all perception. But there's a fear here, and that's what's really getting in the way of making a solid plan. I think there's aspects of this that you know what to do. It's just you haven't been able to let all of this go. I think there's a fear of disappointment here. Letting this go because of a fear of disappointment. But honestly, if you could just get the plan set, you would find some balance. Okay? With the Two of Pentacles, things would start moving, and you really will feel like on top of everything. Okay? So that's what's underneath. No big deal. And I think that's telling because what do we have on the table here? Well, we've got the Six of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Three of Cups in the reverse. I think there's I think this week is sort of, I think we're going to see ourselves coming to terms with this spotlight that we are meant to be stepping into. The Six of Wands is all about success and recognition, literally stepping into your spotlight. Do you see this? Arms in a V for victory. This card also represents leadership. So what ways are you wanting to take charge of your life or your career? I think this week is really about recognizing the spotlight that is meant for you and the opportunity that comes with it in this sort of like reigniting of the passion, of the fire with the Ace of Wands. I mean, this is super duper fiery energy considering that we just moved into water season. Which also could maybe make things foggy because also we have Cups energy over here. But the Aces represent a new opportunity. And passion. A new opportunity for passion to come back into your life. With the Three of Cups, I think this is where we still need to find the work. I don't think that you feel... I think some of these disappointments have to do with the community around you that has not felt supportive about what it is that you want to do for any reason. Which I can certainly connect with. I think this is a part of why you've been disappointed. Because it hasn't felt like you've had people around you necessarily that are fully supporting you. And that is sort of what is making all of this feel not out of touch, but it's got this dreamy quality in, like, it's something that you continue dreaming about. But even just the idea of putting a plan together and actually claiming that space and getting started in this it seems to always be overshadowed by this idea that you don't feel supported. I think a trick here is going to be I think it's just healing through, because we have, again, restore, sleep. Okay, sleep is super healing. Paying attention to dreams as well for clarity. But with all of this anxiety, I think this is a really good opportunity to just slow things down to heal the disappointment. Does that make sense? But there certainly is an element of, like, getting fired up, you know? Yeah. But I think, yeah, you need some sleep. We need some sleep. And trusting our intuition is guiding us. Our intuition is supporting us through this process. Yeah, also I can see, we'll see about that with our hot sauces. Like, you're so my type, always the plan. We'll see about that as sort of like that little, whoever dropped whatever into your mind, that little, like, seed of self-doubt. And this doesn't necessarily have to be people that are in your life right now. You could be surrounded by people that are super supportive of you, but you can't get that support because you've had people in the past who were unsupportive, and you're afraid of the disappointments because maybe you think you have to have it perfectly all in place. That might be the Virgo influence, but this is the time to do it. But we have to get through this blockage here. Yeah, like, I get the sense that these are like voices of the ghosts of your past, not necessarily real ghosts. Maybe people that are no longer in your life, maybe people that are still in your life, but you just take what they say with a grain of salt these days. Something about, you know, don't pay attention to those voices. Don't do it. All right? So that's what I have got for this week. There will be a new moon reading coming out tomorrow, so you can stay tuned for that. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Something in me is telling me I should split the deck. Let me just kind of take a look and see what we've got. Yeah, okay, interesting. The Nine of Wands. So yeah, this is really like a beating you down. But the Ace of Swords is coming through with that as well. And so there is clarity available. But I think a lot of that's going to come to you in rest. So yeah. All right. That's what I've got. I hope it makes sense. Kind of makes sense. We'll see. We'll see about that, right? We'll see about that. Let me know what you think. If you liked this video, please share, subscribe, like, whatever the things, all the things. Leave a comment down below. I love to know how you're doing, so feel free to reach out. And yeah, we are, listen, we're showing up again. Okay, so I'm going to make some time to go to the beach soon because I'm just going to give it to the sea. That's what I'm going to do. Very Cancerian thing to do. But anyway, that's what I've got. That's what I've got for you. I hope this was helpful. I hope there was a little clarity or insight or what have you. This is a general reading. I think I forgot to say that before. It's a general reading. So if it wasn't super specific for you, that's okay. I just hope there was a little something here for you, because we're reading for the group of us who comes to find this video. But yeah, it's all the same sorts of themes, patterns, habits that we're seeing all over the place. So, but yeah, it's time. It's time. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I hope to see you again in another video. And in another video, I will be seeing you on the other side. I almost forgot.